and gentlemen, this is your host, Sandeep Pednekar, and you're watching One Universe, the talk show based on a non-profit One Universe that fosters positivity through the promotion of love, peace, and harmony. Talking about love, peace, and harmony and what we can do and actually do for the community that we live in, we have two wonderful guests today. So, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, the two of you are with the housing and community development with the city of Memphis.
That's correct.
So, but please introduce yourselves.
Well, good morning again. My name is Joyce Cox, and I'm the Senior Manager of the Office of Neighborhood Engagement for the Division of Housing and Community Development.
And good morning, and thanks for the invite. My name is Sherman Robinson. I'm the Neighborhood Redevelopment Coordinator for the Office of Neighborhood Engagement.
Okay. So, that is a very long position, and we'll get into that. But before we get into the meat of the discussion, please tell us about your backgrounds, where you were born and where you were raised.
Oh, wow. Well, I am a native Memphian. I was born in a community called Klondike, which is in the north part of Memphis. And I was raised in Becca, Baltimore African community. And then I am a proud graduate of the Northside High School. And of course, Northside is closed, but we're doing a redevelopment called Northside Square. So we're excited about that. Went to the University of Memphis, and I have my master's from Belhaven University and master's in leadership.
Nice.
Oh wow! And I've been with the city 29 years. It'll be 29 years in September.
And you started at the age of 2.
You, and you know what to say.
Okay, good.
So yeah.
Okay. I'm originally from Clarksville, Mississippi.
Okay.
I've been here in Memphis since '96. Once I graduated from Jackson State University. I'm a proud graduate of Clarksville High School in Clarksville, Mississippi. So what brought me to Memphis was real estate. And I dibbled and dabbled in real estate for a minute and left there and went to higher education. And went to a couple universities, colleges I worked at. And once I left there, had the opportunity to work for the city of Memphis.
Okay, good. So, and how long have you been with the city?
Well, just cracked 2 years. July 5th was my 2-year anniversary.
Oh, okay, that's very good. So, I know Clarksdale, I've been there a few times
Oh, wow.
for business. And just for our listeners from out of the city, county, and the country, Klondike is what is the ice cream is named after?
Well, actually, let me tell you the story behind the name Klondike. The community is a small community right outside of, I think, and actually the community's birthday is this year. It's 125 years old.
Wow.
And it was right outside of the city limits at the time. So, and the people that settled in Klondike were looking for the gold rush. So they called it Klondike.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice, very good, very good. And you being associated with the city of Memphis for 29 years, what are the positions that you started and how did you grow?
Wow. Well, let me go back.
Yeah,
Before
please.
I started with the city, I worked for First and Sea Bank.
Okay.
And I handled their foreclosures and the retail credit division all over the state. And then I was afforded an opportunity to come to the city, and I worked in down payment assistance for about 4 years. And I loved it so because I had an opportunity to see people that could get housing whom otherwise wouldn't have been able to, because we helped with their down payment and closing costs. And then I moved to the CHOTO program, which is Community Housing Development Organization, and worked in that area, helping to do some development, construction. We did some of everything with some of the neighborhoods. We worked in Orange Mound. The Thompson Street Initiative is one of the projects that I worked on.
Can you repeat that?
Orange Mound. It was the Tunstall Street Initiative.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Also worked with Fraser, CDC, Review Kansas, CDC. At that time, we had about 19 organizations that did housing development in low-income areas. Worked with neighborhood housing opportunities management. If you look downtown in the uptown area, the designs of some of those homes were projects that we worked on.
I see.
And then after that, I came to this department, neighborhood engagement, where we connect people with the division. We're out in the community telling people about all the wonderful things we do at housing and community development, all of the programs and how we can help people. And when you talked about your mission as it relates to this, what you do, and I thought about how we often say if we connect people, and people have one common goal, and that's to make Memphis a better place to live, work, and see,
Absolutely.
and stay focused on what that goal is. Then we just working together, and that's what we do.
Right.
We're out there saying, hey, let's work together.
Right.
You know.
So what we do through One Universe, the nonprofit Get Recovered Outreach Services, is also to disseminate information
Exactly.
from different organizations and departments within the city or the county and other organizations or nonprofits that do good for the community, so that people know about it.
Exactly.
The difference is you get paid. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
But they, no matter what, even though you do it as a job, the satisfaction that you all receive for doing benefit for the citizens of this community is really good.
That's right.
And the impact is 1,000 times lot more than what we could do as just one small entity. So hats off to you with all that you do. And please tell us, you have briefly told about your journey, but tell us what you do now with the city.
Well, what I do, I'm in charge of our internship program.
Okay.
Where we have a relationship and a partnership with all the different universities within the city. We connect the resources that the city has with the schools so we can place students in internship.
So this is, I mean, the what, I mean, high school students or?
No, college students.
Okay.
University college, well, college students, freshmen, sophomores, juniors.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
And so you place them within the city government offices or other outside offices?
Now, we do have some interns internally, but we do have some that are placed in nonprofit organizations throughout the city of Memphis.
Okay. So now let us say an entity like me, I would say, oh, I need 50 interns. Would you be able to provide that?
Well, if they meet the criteria that you're asking for, yeah.
Okay.
I would reach out to those universities and colleges and just ask them, to send me the students that you're looking for, the criteria and the qualifications that you're looking for.
Okay. The reason I'm asking you this is because many times there are organizations and institutions that are short of resources, and because of that, they are unable to proceed ahead. When they look at this, and when you share this video with others, they'll be able to access it. The idea is to help other organizations and non-profits. If they need, then when they view this video, they could reach out to you.
Correct.
Because ultimately, I know you made a face that, oh, how can we handle these many interns? But if we are able to provide all those interns from so many community colleges or universities in and around the city, then we will be able to help the interns get knowledge, live knowledge of what goes on in the community in the real world, and for them to have some help also.
Correct.
Yeah, so for our listeners, hope you can make use of this. And so, other than interns, what else?
Well, I do work with the nonprofit called Center for Transitioning Communities,
Okay.
short for CTC. So we do have a partnership with them where they're connected with different nonprofits in their area,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just focused on bettering their communities. They have different projects they're assigned to, attached to, and they come up with to better their community as far as beautification, connecting, engaging their neighbors within that neighborhood.
Okay. And that is definitely a wonderful thing, and we would like to have them on our show as well.
Okay.
Now, that is an entity that is outside the city government, correct?
Right.
But now they have, I mean, is there a contract with the city for them to work with you?
It is. It is.
Okay. So, for somebody to have a contract, what would they have to undergo?
Well, it is a process you have to go through,
Okay.
and it's called our SCIF process, or CCP process that they go through. We'll open it up to the citizens. They'll come in and do the application process, and then it goes through a review process. And then once they go through the review process, they're notified that they are awarded or they are declined. So it's a lengthy process.
I see. Okay. And how long does the process take?
Um, that's
Typically,
about,
well, we try to, for that part of it, maybe about, we put the applications out and we give them 30 days, 30 to 60 days, it just depends.
To fill in and
Fill it in, turn it in.
turn it in. Okay.
Yeah, and it's all electronic, and then we put together a committee, an outside committee. No one works for the city that reviews them,
Okay.
and they're scored and ranked. And then we send out an award letter, and actually we're going through that process now. We have a grant called the Neighborhood Partnership Grant,
Mm-hmm.
and the contracts are going through the system as we speak. So they'll actually start maybe next month, September rather.
Okay. So, is that the time frame or the application deadline?
No, the application deadline is actually, we started this December the 5th, and the applications were due February 5th. So,
Okay.
yeah, and it takes a minute because there's so many layers to the contract process, meaning they have to have insurance, and there's some criteria that they have to have had prior to them even applying. Like, for example, they have to have at least 1 year of community work in doing whatever they said that they're going to do. And there's a variety of organizations. You see what I'm saying? And all of that is on our website. So you can go to memphisHCD.org
Mm-hmm.
or the City of Memphis website and look up housing and community development, and you'll see all of the criteria that you have to have prior to even applying.
Applying, yeah.
Exactly.
So now coming back to all the services that are being offered through HCD, what is the number? 15, 20 services?
Oh, wow. I wouldn't say it's that many. We have a lot. So we have.
I would like to say all the things that you have been handling, and I have noticed you, I would say 50.
It
All the
seems
things,
like
right?
it seems that way as we work hard.
Yeah.
the work we put in.
Yeah, we do. But we do, our division handles, we do work with the lead abatement program through housing community development, weatherization program. We do
Now,
housing.
by the way, the weatherization program, is it associated with MLG and W?
No, actually it's not. It
Okay.
is, they're one of our partners,
Okay.
but our weatherization program goes through Green and Healthy Homes, TBA. They're all partners, but we handle it internally
I
ourselves.
see, okay. I'm sorry, continue.
That's okay. We have our homeless and special needs programs, and that's programs like HOPWA, ESG, and tenant-based rental assistance.
Can you please explain the acronyms?
Oh,
I'm going to put you on the spot.
yes, you are. Well,
ESG.
ESG is emergency shelter program.
Okay.
HOPWA is, oh God, I can't remember.
Housing and
No, it's something with AIDS, the AIDS population. But if you go on to the Memphis ACD website, I promise you, they
okay.
won't. You'll be able to see it.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh, and then we have
DPA.
the down payment assistance program.
Mhm.
We have our nonprofit housing, and that's where they do housing development work with the nonprofits that do those type of
Mhm.
programs. We have our real estate development, and that's where they work with nonprofits and for-profit developers. We have development services, exactly, and they do economic development projects. Let's say, for example, facade improvements and with small businesses. They've done some large businesses as well,
Mhm.
but their money is designed to help with the facade and some construction. It just depends on the project.
Okay.
We have our strategic initiatives, and then those are the major projects like Tiger Lane and um, the Pyramid, those type of things.
So because you mentioned major, then I want to ask what is minor then?
Well, it's called money. The more money you
That is
put
the
in, that's
differentiation.
yes.
Right.
The major the project
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
We're talking about millions of dollars, but and we put some small money in big projects. It just depends on the gap. We don't do 100% of financing for it. We try not to, and I won't say we don't, but that is the goal. Is our funding should be gap funding.
Okay. So it is funding and not grants. In some
One
cases
and the
there will
same,
be.
yeah, yeah. And it's all one and the same. Our funding is, that's what we call it, whether it's a grant or it's a loan.
I see.
It's just funding.
Okay.
And we have the federal dollars, and typically that's what we administer. But we do have some city funds, but it's not a whole lot.
I see. Okay. Now this does sound like 50 to 100 projects that
It's a lot.
things that you handle. And
Well,
truly, yeah.
it may not be 100 projects, but it may be 100 layers.
Right.
It just depends on where we fit into the puzzle. And we touch a lot, we really do.
Yeah. And just looking at that, I understand that if anybody were to say, and I do say that you do achieve a whole lot, it is not an overstatement at all. Uh, the phenomenal things that have happened through these departments and the services that are being offered are really something that obviously are very impactful. They are very positive and uplift our community and Memphis as a whole. But talking about all the good things that are being offered, and I just want to just put in a few words that I'm also associated with an Department of Commerce's program, which is called as international visitors. And the way, I'm not spelling it out right, what the program is, but that program invites many international visitors from different countries, and the embassies, the U.S. embassies in those countries invite, handpick some of the people from those countries and bring them to the U.S. And at the cost of the Department of Commerce in Washington D.C., they send them to different cities, depending on what business or arts, culture, journalism, whatever they do. Whenever they come here in the city of Memphis, I am one of the people who takes them to different places. I take them to the mayor's office, both city and county mayors, to the chamber. And when they present what Memphis has in the past, its history, and what it has to offer, it is super impressive. It really is. Oh, this is coming, that is coming, the railway line, the I-40, I-55. So all of that, we have wonderful things. FedEx, Walmart, not too far from here. So we have a whole lot of things going on, but that doesn't seem to trickle down to the masses. Why is that so?
Well, that's a good question. And now I'll give you what my answer
Mm-hmm.
is. Um, it's my personal and professional
Mm-hmm.
opinion. There's an old cliche that say you can't see the forest for the trees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes what we don't understand or realize is that the challenges that our city has, they're not just germane to Memphis. They're all over. But when you're in the middle of something, sometimes you can't look past what you're being faced with, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that one of the reasons, and plug here,
Mm-hmm.
is why we have this event that we're getting ready for.
Yes, please.
And
Yeah.
it's called the Taste of Memphis
Mm-hmm.
Neighborhoods. It'll be
Which was started by whom?
by our office.
No, I want to highlight it was you who started it. Yes, so yeah, please don't be shy about that.
Well, one in 2016, Memphis was awarded the bid to do a national conference called Neighborhoods USA.
Neighborhood?
Neighborhoods USA.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a 3 day, actually four, conference, and you do neighborhood pride tours, you take classes, but that Thursday night you do some fun stuff. So we decided to have all our neighborhood organizations come out, set up booths, and talk about who they were. We had live entertainment, we had food trucks out there, and so at that time, Paul Young, our Mayor Young, was our director,
Mm.
and he said, "I want to continue this," and I said, "Okay, we're going to do that." And so actually, it started in 2014 because we wanted to bid in 2013. So in 2014, our director was Robert Lipscomb, and I told him, I
Mm-hmm.
said, we want to do two trial runs. So in 2016, we have it down pat, and that's how it started. And actually, this is our 10th year.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we're celebrating, and our theme is celebrating one Memphis with endless possibilities. So if you can just imagine what we can be, we're already great. We're already one of the best cities in the country.
So you want to make Memphis greater again?
Oh,
Okay, no pun intended.
no pun intended.
But
Yeah,
I want to reach out to our viewers and say that hey, come forward,
yeah.
offer your services, offer everything that you can do to the and by saying that I'm also saying that I am also ready to offer my services and what can be done, not only to the non-profits that we do, but also me as an individual, how I can help.
Oh,
So
yes,
yeah, please.
please.
So tell us how we can help you.
Well, what we're trying to do, imagine this. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we have 400 neighborhood associations list on our list.
Okay.
Imagine all 400 neighborhood associations out there that Thursday night and connecting
Mm-hmm.
and talking to each other and decorating your table. I have to give you my elevator speech.
Mm-hmm. Please.
Our, the Taste of Memphis is where we give our neighborhood organizations
Mm-hmm.
one table, two chairs, and 4 hours to celebrate their greatness.
Okay.
And so connecting and talking to your neighbors, because some people have figured these things out. You know, whatever the challenge is, some neighborhoods have said, this is not what we're going to do. We're going to do it this way. Now let me share it with you. And we found in the 10 years that has been successful.
Okay.
We've had organizations, say for example, Roselle Anastel is working with an organization in North Memphis called Hugs. They partner on a lot of different things. Glenview Community, the Glenview Community, Klondike Smoky City, and we do have a friendly competition.
Okay.
Yes, where the booths are judged by our neighborhood watch coordinators.
And this happens at Tiger Lane.
It happens at Tiger Lane, and you have a first, second, and third prize. And those that have
Out
been,
of the 400 participating, only three prizes?
well, that's it. That makes you work
Okay.
hard.
It makes you be
Immaterial.
creative.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay, but immaterial of that, it gives you an opportunity to present yourself and what is unique in what
That's
you
right.
do. And also then, when you see other 399 people or organizations that are doing something, so, oh, I can do that.
Right.
That's
I can
right.
replicate it.
That's right. And so we've had winners like Soulsville, USA. That's what they call themselves, the Soulsville neighborhood.
Yeah.
And but the booths are judged based upon the theme. So when you think about celebrating one Memphis
Mm-hmm.
with endless possibilities,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that. And we have actually have a committee that's made up of people from my office,